You think you're tired because you worked all day. No, you're drained because you gave your best energy to everything but yourself. And if you keep doing that, one day you'll wake up with nothing left, not even for the life you wanted. And here's the part nobody tells you. You're not crazy, your brain is just exhausted. It's not just the hours you spend at work, it's the type of energy you spend. Every small decision, every meeting, every problem you juggle, they're all tiny withdrawals from your mental bank. By the time you clock out, you're already deep in overdraft, and you didn't even notice it happening. And the truth is, work didn't take all of it. The buzzing group chat, that little disagreement with your colleague, skipping lunch, every one of those things is a tiny leak in your energy tank. You don't notice them until you get home, drop your bag, and suddenly even watching TV feels like too much effort, and you think it's the work that drains you. But sometimes it's the meetings about the work that take the biggest chunk. In a meeting, you're not just listening, you're processing tone, body language, and 100 little cues. Your brain is running a social marathon, predicting what to say next, when to nod, and how to react. And then there's context switching. Your mind gets yanked from one topic to another before it's finished the first one. Each switch burns a little more mental fuel. Even if you're silent, you're still spending energy on impression management, making sure you look engaged, alert, and agreeable. That's exhausting. And when the meeting doesn't have a clear outcome, your brain leaves with unfinished loops, like dozens of open browser tabs in the background, draining your battery long after the meeting ends. That's why a 1-hour meeting can feel more exhausting than 3 hours of actual work. If it feels relatable, you know what to do. Press the like and subscribe button below. Ever feel like your brain is a web browser, and you've got so many tabs open that you can't even remember what half of them were for? That's because every open tab, every unfinished task, unanswered message, or half-read article takes up working memory. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain refuses to let go of unfinished business, so it keeps reminding you in the background. But here's the twist. Each reminder costs you focus. Every mental nudge steals a little bit of your attention from the task in front of you. The result? Decision fatigue. The more your brain juggles, the slower and sloppier your thinking becomes. And because our brains are wired to seek novelty, you jump from one tab to another, chasing quick hits of dopamine. It only leaves more tabs open, until suddenly it's the end of the day, and you've been busy all day without actually finishing anything. And when those tabs stay open too long, it's not just your focus that suffers, it's your mental energy. See, your brain is like a smartphone battery. Even when you're not actively using it, background apps, those thoughts you didn't finish, decisions you didn't make, and conversations you haven't replied to, keep running. Every time you hold a thought in your head, your brain's prefrontal cortex, the decision-making hub, stays lit up like a lamp. And just like a lamp left on all day, it drains the power faster. This is called cognitive load. It's the invisible weight of mental processing, and it eats up glucose, your brain's main fuel. Whether you're doing hard math or just remembering to buy milk later, that's why you can feel utterly exhausted even after a day where you didn't do much. Your mind's been sprinting in the background, and your body feels the bill. And it's not just energy your brain loses. There's another cost, an emotional one. Every unresolved task, every unanswered message, every tiny decision you keep postponing. They don't just live in your to-do list, they live in your nervous system. It's like carrying invisible weights all day. Your body releases small bursts of stress hormones every time your mind reminds you of something unfinished. At first, you barely notice, but over time, it stacks up. That's the emotional tax, the price your mood pays for mental clutter. And here's the thing. When your energy is already low, cognitive load, your emotional resilience drops too, which means the smallest hiccup, a late email, a tiny mistake, someone's tone of voice, suddenly feels much bigger. You start snapping at people or shutting down completely, not because you're a bad person, but because your emotional budget is already spent. By the time the day ends, it's not just your mind that's drained, it's you. The mental clutter has eaten away at your focus, the emotional tax has quietly chipped at your patience, and now you're left with nothing in the tank. Here's the tricky part. Burnout doesn't always feel like a dramatic collapse. Sometimes, it's just that quiet emptiness, the inability to start even the smallest task, even the ones you want to do for yourself. Your brain slips into low power mode. That's why, instead of going for a walk, cooking a meal, or even calling a friend. You sink into the couch and scroll. You're not lazy. You're trying to self-soothe with the least effort possible. And yet, that kind of rest isn't really rest. It's like pouring water into a bucket with holes. You spend hours in recovery mode, but wake up the next day still tired because the root cause hasn't been addressed. Here's the thing, burnout thrives in chaos. If you let your day end with a pile of open loops, unanswered emails, half-finished tasks, mental notes you haven't written down, your brain stays in work mode long after you've stopped working. That's why the first fix isn't about doing more. It's about closing the day well. Spend the last 10 minutes before you log off wrapping up just one small task you've been putting off. Something quick, like sending that reply, filing that document, or cleaning your desk. Then, jot down tomorrow's top 3 priorities. This does 2 things. 1. Signals completion. Your brain gets to say, okay, we're done here. 2. Gives direction. Tomorrow, you start with clarity instead of chaos. Remember, your mind doesn't rest when your body does. It rests when it knows it's safe to stop thinking about work. Here's a truth most people ignore. Rest isn't the absence of work, it's the presence of recovery. Too often, we get home after a draining day and collapse straight into scrolling on our phones, binging shows, or just zoning out. But that's passive rest. It numbs you, but it doesn't recharge you. The fix: build a 20 to 30 minute active recharge ritual right after work. That could be a short walk outside without your phone, playing an instrument, stretching or light yoga, sitting with tea and journaling your thoughts. These small intentional activities send a signal to your brain. Work is over. It's time to refill the tank. And here's the magic. When you choose recovery instead of numbing, you'll have more mental energy for the rest of the evening instead of dragging yourself to bed exhausted. Here's the part most people never think about. You don't just run out of energy because work is hard. You run out because you're spending it like it's unlimited. Think of your energy like money in a bank account. Every task you do, emails, meetings, commuting, cooking, is a withdrawal. The problem? Most of us never check the balance. We just keep swiping until the account hits 0, or worse, overdraft. The fix: create an energy budget. Start your day by identifying your top 3 energy expenses. These are the tasks that matter most today. Prioritize them first before your energy leaks into low-value activities. Then add non-negotiable deposits, short breaks, water, movement, and mental downtime. These are your income streams. They refill the account. Over time, this habit forces you to work with your energy instead of against it, and you'll stop ending every day feeling like a phone stuck at 1%. Here's the truth most of us learn too late. Your energy is the foundation for everything you do. Without it, even the simplest tasks feel like climbing a mountain. With it, challenges that once drained you become things you can handle with ease. This isn't just about surviving the workday. It's about building a life where you still have energy left for the things and the people that matter most. When you start budgeting your energy, you stop living in reaction mode, and you start living by design. Because burnout doesn't just take away your productivity, it steals your joy, your health, and your time. Protecting your energy is protecting your life. If this helped you see things differently, like this video, share it with someone who's always running on empty, and subscribe for more ways to work smarter and live better.